Okay, now I am live. God, I'm such an idiot. So let me repeat the whole thing then. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show, and today is 2019, October 7th, Monday, 10 o'clock a.m. in the morning, San Francisco time, and we are going to do 10 o'clock in the morning for this week, Monday to Sunday. So this week, 10 o'clock, okay? And uh, God, I haven't been talking. I've been muted for the first 3 minutes or so. So if you guys have a topic, type it, okay? Or I have some topics prepared. I'm going to talk about them. Feel free to ask questions and the things you want me to talk. Right now is the time, because once I start to talk, usually it's gonna be non-stop in that direction subject. Good morning, Ztron Crazy. Good morning, Joss. So, Joss, you wanted me to do some emac lists, right? Okay, yeah, let's do some emac lists. So, I have some emac lists. Now, if you do have specific questions or some area you like me to see me do, so type it. Okay, now is the right time because once I start talking, then it's gonna be non-stop. So let's do some emac list. Okay, so let me yeah. So it's here. I prepared. I'm going to write a command in demo of that. That's gonna be pretty short. 10 minutes will do. Depending on if you guys want to see it more, then I'm gonna keep going on it. So Bartholomew says, I decided to learn JavaScript. Yay! You've been brainwashed by me. uh, DistroTube joined the Emacs crowd. DistroTube. What is DistroTube? Anyway, there's another guy whose name is Maxerator. He wanted, he apparently he's a hardcore programmer. He wanted me to do more live coding. Yeah, so I'll try to do more of that. Because in my past experience on YouTube, whenever I do live coding, nobody is interested. Like you then then it's so quiet and also yeah, typically that's the case. But and I suppose partly because I'm not really good at maybe except Emac Lisp, or I'm not really good at live coding. But anyway, so I'm going to do some Emac Lisp today, but there is also some other things, uh, interesting things we can talk about. Yeah. So he does Linux related videos. So DistroTube joined the Emacs crowd. Oh, he started to use Emacs, you mean? So DistroTube is a account name on YouTube. So Bartholomew says, I wanted to write some web apps for example, Firefox extensions and Nextcloud. Oh, Nextcloud. Nextcloud is a plugin. Um, I don't even trust Firefox anymore. In fact, yeah, you can trust Firefox. In fact, I mentioned this a few times. Firefox, they give money to Antifa. They do several evil things, and their browser is worse and worse, basically. And also Google Chrome is the most evil. I talked about this a few times. They actively do just like the Internet Explorer 20 years ago. They actively make sure that Google's own services do not run well in other browsers. They do tactics, like for example, YouTube. Okay, so Microsoft actually, Microsoft came out with the Edge browser, which is an entire new browser engine. That's something non-trivial. Okay, so Microsoft created Edge, like 5 years ago, Edge browser, entire new browser engine, parsers, JavaScript, entirely new from scratch, almost from scratch. Then Microsoft, of course, they say, okay, yeah, compare YouTube, we are faster than Chrome or Firefox and so on. And then YouTube scums, the Google team, YouTube, they change something in YouTube so that Edge browser will show up errors or become slower. Things like that. It's well documented. You can search for that on Hacker News and so on. So Google is doing that. Intentionally make things that only Google Chrome runs well. So we started to uh, go off tangent now. Let's get back. So, Greg Saw, can you give a introduction how to do Emacs Lisp customizations and how to bind them to custom keystrokes for beginners? I have seen previous live shows on the topic. Okay, uh, how do you do Emacs Lisp customizations? Like, what do you mean? Like customize some major mod or some packages you downloaded, something like that. That is usually not easy, not trivial. Okay, like if you are thinking, a typical Emacs user, you use a lot of packages, right? Let me start xah command log mod on the left window, so you can see all my Emacs commands, such as moving cursor or deleting things or undo. You can see it on the left window and my keys. Okay, so typically, if you download lots of Emacs packages, you use it. Maybe there are some behaviors you don't like. So the first step is to look into. Oh, okay. So then I'm going to start to talk about Emacs. Well, the first step is to start to look at the customization supported by the package. Like you can do customize group. You see at the bottom, customize group. You call that emacs customize group. Then it asks you what group you want to customize. Emacs is is very intuitive. So you type basically you type the major mod's name. For example, let's say xah keys. Okay. So let's say xah find. Okay, I have this package which is kind of grep written in Emacs Lisp. So I type xah find. Okay, customize group xah find. Then you see this window which is kind of semi GUI. Then you can customize, how many characters to show before you are searching for some string. The context. So this is one way to customize it. Okay, so actually, let's start to talk about Emacs. So you actually you go to my Emacs website, then you go to Emacs init setup, then this is actually lots of tutorials about how to set up Emacs, and right now we want to talk about let's search for custom. Yeah, emacs customize. So this page discuss what I just did. Okay, so let's close that. Let's go back to xah Talk Show and Emacs customization. Okay, so this is how you customize a package. But however, these customization are only for whatever the package designed to be customized for. Like when you download, install a Emacs package, it maybe it's a major mod or minor mod, it does something, and it has some settings or preferences. In Mac you call preferences, in Windows you call it options. Like settings basically. Then you can customize it. Usually there are basically two ways to customize it. One is by actual Lisp code. You just put Lisp code in your init file. The other way is this emacs customize, kind of semi GUI. So so I talked about that in this page. So that is one way to customize Emacs package. But however, what I want to say is that these are just settings supported by the package. Okay, by design. Like if I wrote a package, I specifically made sure that I have some things you can customize. I create that customize. So that's one way. But usually, sometimes Emacs people, they looked through these. That's not enough. They want some other behaviors to change. They want to do that. Then that is not trivial. Okay. For example, let's go to let's see what package I'm using. Okay, let me show you one of package I'm using. Okay, so the package is, hold on a second. Okay, so the package is smex. Okay, you see here, this package is called smex. What does it do? It's basically a enhanced version of meta-x. When you press meta-x, that is actually calling this command. This command, execute extended command. That's a command name. When you press meta-x, Emacs is calling that. So, but smex is kind of a replacement for that command with much more enhancements and features. So that's why I'm using smex. Okay, smex. You can find it on Mailpa. So, so I'm using smex. So this is the source code of smex. You can see it's by Cornelius Mika. He's written a few packages. So by this guy, and this is 500 lines of code. Okay, it's very nice. I recommend it. Use smex. Now, but suppose I found something in smex I don't like. So the first thing I want to do is I call customize group. You see, we mentioned that. So call it. Then it asks me a group. Okay, I type SMEX. Okay, enter. There it is. Now the customize window show up. So let's see. So smex auto update on, smex flex matching on. Okay, smex history length 7. Let's make a change. Let's say history length, let's say I wanted 8. Okay, let's say I wanted 6. So once you make a change, you can go back to, let's magnify. Okay, so you see this, I made it 6. Okay, now you can either click apply. Okay, they changed the interface over the years, but anyway, if you click apply, that means it will be saved for this session. But when you restart Emacs, then it's all forgotten. Okay, so if you want to save it kind of permanently, you click apply and save. Okay, so I click apply and save. It asks me save all settings in this buffer, yes or no. Okay, yes. Okay, now apply save. Now when I call smex, it's going to have like smex history length of 6. So what does it mean exactly? It says determines on how many recently executed commands smex should keep a record. Okay, there is a grammatical error because there's a grammatical error. It says determines on how many recently executed commands. That's incorrect. You should say the on. You should delete the on word. Determine how many recently executed commands smex should keep a record. Okay, must be set before initialization of smex. Oh, okay. So I guess it won't have any effect until I reload smex or something like that. Anyway, so this is about MX customize. Okay, so these are the settings. That's all there it is. Okay. However, there's some behaviors of smex you don't like and you do not find it here. That is when you need to look at the source code. You want to start this is when you want to modify some of the source code. Now this is not trivial. Okay, I don't know if that's a question you are asking, but this is not trivial. This is you really would need to have like few months of Emacs Lisp coding experience to do that. And it's not trivial for me. I mean, even I have 10 years of Emacs Lisp. It's not trivial because when you start to read, you know, for example, when I start to read, you start to spend hours to look at how this code works. What it, then you can modify, change. So it's not trivial. Okay. So I would not actually recommend it. Okay, yeah, I don't even recommend it. I do not recommend the typical open source mantra of editing a code, then maybe you contribute back to GitHub. Anyway, I don't recommend it because you well, okay, there's two things. There's political opinion about whether I recommended doing that. Then there is the practical opinion about whether I recommend it or not. In fact, in both cases, I don't recommend it. Okay. Originally, I was just saying for in practice, I don't recommend it because you're gonna spend hours. It's gonna take a lot of your time. But I mean, if you are for open source and free software, you can do it. Okay, but you're just gonna spend a lot of time. So instead of spending the time to read other people's code to make it, to change part of the behavior, so you can use the package for yourself. You rather you spend the time to study Emacs Lisp if you don't know all that already. Okay, so you study time to Emacs Lisp, learn it yourself. You can start to write code, and typically you'll find that once go read my tutorial. Okay, go read my tutorial, buy my tutorial, support me. Okay, buy it. Then once you code Emacs Lisp for, let's say, 1 month, then typically it's a case that you can just write your own little functions. You gain a lot power. Okay, you can just write your own little functions. You don't Typically you don't need to modify other people's code because that'll take hours, because you need to understand how when someone writes a package, there's a kind of the whole system you need to look into how they do it, and you need to follow that. But typically you can just code your own, one little function, override something in smex or something. That's You can do that within 1 hour and you have what you want. So if you are not familiar with, that's what I recommend. If you are not familiar with Emacs Lisp yet, I recommend to actually learn it. Now, if you already have several years of Emacs Lisp, then you don't need to ask me. You have your opinions whether you want to edit other people's code or not. Typically, that's not for me because I'm not a great programmer. I look at other people's code that takes days. It would take days um, to understand, to make the modification. Then then I see lots of things I don't like. I'm very I'm very kind of weird. I see the other things I don't like, the way they do things. So anyway, that's about that. That's about I'm actually going kind of a meta comment on your question. I don't even know if that's a question you are asking, Joss. So anyway, yeah, So like I said, when I start to talk about something, it goes on and on. But I wanted to show you several things today. Okay, several things today. We need to talk. We've been talking for 20 minutes. So I'm going to code this. I'm going to code this Emacs. Where is it? Oh, I'm going to write a new command to do Emacs, to create a command that goes to send me through the Chrome. Okay, but there are some other interesting things. Let's talk about those first. Okay, and let me read the comments. Edge transfers to Chrome. Yeah, so it's so bad. Google is doing these evil things. So that Edge team of Microsoft, they decided they're gonna throw away the whole thing. They're gonna just use uh, Google Chrome's uh, web engine. How they call that? Web engine. It's called Bing. Okay, Google Chrome. Okay, I can start to talk about the history of web browsers and their engines. Google Chrome is based off on Safari. Okay, or this is about 15 years ago, 2007 or so. Google began to create their own browser, Google Chrome, that is based on Safari browser. Safari is on the Mac. Safari browser began in 2002, something like that, around there, 2002. And Safari browser is based on open source. Part of you like it. So it's based on KDE. KDE, this group, KDE in Linux, they have called WebKit. Okay, that's a browser engine. So it's open source. So Safari borrowed that. It made it into Safari. Of course, over the years, lots of things changed. Yeah, at some point, they become different, and Apple no longer like contribute back, because business, corporations, they have their own goals and movement. It takes tremendous energy and power to communicate and sync this code back to the upstream, the open source code back. It takes tremendous energy, and also in different teams they have different visions, different goals, lead by each different selfish person for their own purpose, including Linux. In fact, that is more pronounced in all the open source project. Each project has one guy. They cannot make money, but they can have fame. That's why you have all these fights. Anyway, let me stop getting into a rant. Okay. So Apple created Safari. They took the WebKit engine. They borrowed. It's open source. They borrowed it. In the first few years, they tried. They sent their improvement back to WebKit and things like that. But eventually, after a few years, they become totally separate. Every time this happens, it's on the news, Hacker News, Hacker News, these fucking, free software idiot fanatics. Every time this happens, oh, all the hacker types talk about it. Then it dies out. Things continue on and on until today. We have the evil Google, Apple, Microsoft empires, and the open source fucking idiots are still singing the open source songs. So anyway, Apple created Safari originally based on WebKit. Then Google started Google Chrome. They borrowed from Safari the WebKit. Okay, have nothing to do with the KDE the WebKit anymore. Actually, do they still call it? Actually, the KDE engine. I don't remember if was it called WebKit or not, or if they had their original name. But anyway, you go to Wikipedia. Go to Wikipedia, search for WebKit. You'll find all the stories and links to and the Bing engine. All the different engines. So, anyways, so Safari, then you have Chrome, Google Chrome, beginning with the WebKit. Borrowing Safari's code. Then they become separate. Okay, then about 3 years ago or 4 years ago, Google almost rewrite, like it's no longer WebKit. They became Bing, their own engine. So anyway, that's about that. And okay, yeah, and Edge. Okay, so and also another part of the story is that Opera also threw away their own engine. They adopted Google Chrome, and they are dead. They are Opera browser is long time dead. They are like Opera browser. Their head, their leader, this Swedish. I think it's Swedish or no, the Scandinavia. It's always confusing. What Opera browser? What country was it? Opera. So Opera browser has this leader. He's a scumbag. He's a Microsoft hater. He's one of the extreme Microsoft hater. He criticized Microsoft Bill Gates all the time. I have articles about that. Which his reason is just it's wrong. Okay, it's just wrong for selfish reasons. And today Opera is totally dead. No enhancing Smax package is way beyond my window. No enhancing. Okay, so no Norwegian. Okay, yeah, Norwegian. Yeah, that's an Opera guy. He's a scum. By the way, he invented CSS, or he's a co-inventor or something. He's a guy who invented CSS. Today you don't hear about him anymore, because technology moves on. you know, you don't hear about him much anymore. But he was he invented CSS. So Benjamin says, "What's a semi GUI?" That's just my loose term. That's my loose term to refer to this. For example, this screen. So it's kind of GUI because you see buttons. You see those buttons. You see, and you have but it's actually it's somewhat it's you can also say it's text based because everything in this buffer is text. For example, let me copy. Hold on a second. Okay, so I copy the buffer, split, new buffer, create a new buffer, paste it. You see, it's all text. So why does it show as a button here? Because Emacs has properties. Okay, that's technical detail. If I'm teaching Emacs Lisp, then I'll talk about that. It's properties. Okay, text properties. So I'm calling these it's not exactly text-based because text-based this is what text-based typical text-based interface is like, terminal. But this is semi that's why I call it semi GUI. Okay, so close that, don't save. Okay, back to the XR talk show. I have several topics I want to talk about, but I already digressed into stuff. So Bartholomew says, write a web app. Okay. So who can you trust if not Firefox? You can't trust it so bad. You cannot trust much anymore. First of all, you cannot trust Google Chrome. You don't even know if they like right now. You can be sure it's already know all the password on my system outside of Chrome. You don't know. You cannot know for sure. It could possibly they are already doing that. They know everything. I mentioned this before, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They in fact they have an option like more tools. Wait, not more tools. Settings. Okay, they have an option. They ask you, do you want Google to check viruses on your hard disk? you know. Let's see, where is it? Let's try to find it. Okay, Google Chrome. Appearance. Okay, search engine default browser on startup advanced privacy and security. Fucking okay. Starting. I see these topics. I'm gonna start to rant non-stop. Allow Chrome sign in. No. Okay, don't do that. Allow no track. Whatever. Allow site. No track. The do not track. That's another. Okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna start to talk about this for 1 hour. There's so many things. Allow site to check. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's not talk about. I want to get back to the other things. Clear browsing data, site settings, manage security keys, manage certificate, preload page. Yeah. Allow site to check if you have payment method. No, I don't want. I don't have money. Okay. Spell check downloads. Accessibility system reset. Anyway, I remember seeing that. Do you guys know? Like, I remember seeing like there is a preference that ask whether you want Google to check viruses, scan for viruses on your hard disk. Oh yeah, Brave. Yeah, so one browser you could trust is Brave. This one, okay, Brave browser. I talked about this guy a few times, so I recommend that Brave browser. Is your web browser secure? I thought it's secure. It's not secure. Okay, you browser in Emacs. That's the worst garbage. Greetings, Norwegian. May I request you to please not eat my dog? Okay, so that's the Brave browser. So, oh yeah, 4chan. Let's talk about 4chan, 4channel. Okay, 4channel. That's always fascinating. I know some of you guys are on 4chan. Green Deck. Good morning, Green Deck. Oh, Green Deck. You have some issues about the RT news website. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll talk about that because we got a lot of things to what? We got a lot of things to cover. So, 4channel comments. Sorry, Second Life Hamster Ball. Okay, so let's so people, okay, folks, join Discord. What? New audio device detected. Giving up. Don't switch or not. Switch device. Discord detected a new audio input device. Yeah. Okay, switch device. Device 3. A new audio output device names the device 3. No, I don't know what the fuck is device 3 audio output. So you go to Xah Talk Show, and now I have this. This is a Discord link. Okay, so let me just post it. So guys, join Discord. It's pretty nice. Okay, well, if you don't have to, but okay. So what is the next thing? Okay, so let's see. I want to let's talk about like what I'm talking. It depends on you guys. Like who is here? Like who wants to listen to what? Okay, not much comment. Let's just continue with Emacs then. Let me show you. So right now, I want a command that I can call, and it will show this page in Chrome browser. Okay, must be Chrome. For example, this Xah Talk Show page, right? You see here, I can press a button. Let me show you. Okay, hold on. I press a button, it will show in browser, the kind of default browser. Okay, let me show. Hold on a second, my roommate. 啊？或者我没有我有一点，我现在跟人家讲话。Hold on a second, my roommate. Oh God, he's disrupting my professional service. Where is your roommate from? My roommate, they are from right now. So I have one, two, three, four roommates. So plus me is 5 people. They are from China. I talked about this before. They are kind of illiterate. Okay, they don't do they do use computers. I mean they don't know anything. They don't know what is a browser. except one of the younger ones. They don't know what is physics, math, or programming. Okay. But there is also no alternative for org mod. Where is your roommate from? So where from China? They are from, well, actually one of them is from Taiwan. The others are from China, southern China, like above Hong Kong, like right above Hong Kong. And so what am I going to? Let's just do the Emacs then. Okay, so yeah, back to the Emacs. Okay, Emacs has a command. Let me show you what's the command name. Okay. Okay, actually, I'm using my own. So let's look at. So Emacs has a command called browse URL of buffer. Okay. For example, you see this word browse URL of buffer. This one. So this is a Emacs command. Okay. So it's built in browse URL of buffer. That means you call that command. Let's call it. Okay. So I mx browse URL browse URL of buffer. Okay. So that means it will. Okay. I call that enter. It will show the current page in the default browser, which in my case is Firefox. Okay. So this is built in. Now, however, I have my own versions because sometimes I need to do some transformation of links. So anyway, I have my own version, so I can call it. It shows in browser. Okay. Then I have another version. That's it's called Safari. Okay. xah-open in Safari. So if I press that, it will open this in Safari browser. Okay. Now I have another version. Okay, it's called open in Brave. So if I call that, it will open this page in Brave browser. Okay, so it has I have different command to do that, and I have two more versions. For example, now instead of opening this buffer, I want to show this link. Okay, this link in, let's say, in Safari. Okay, so I call xah-open-link in Safari. Okay, hold on a second. Let me show the Emacs. Yeah, so I call xah-open-link in Safari. Okay, so you see this page in Safari. I have the same command for Brave browser because I use multiple browsers for reasons. What I want to do now is that I don't have one for Chrome. I do not have one for Chrome because I don't use, I only use Chrome browser for Google related stuff like YouTube. I don't want to, use Chrome. But however, since yes, Bartholomew. Since I've been doing YouTube, I find that sometimes I want to show this page on Google Chrome. So I need that command. So let's write it. Okay. So first of all, what we do is we just copy of the existing command. Copy paste. It's the most powerful way. It's the most powerful way to code. Actually, let's see. Safari. Open link in Safari. Okay. So let's look at that. Go there. So here is the code. Open link in Safari, and here's the code open link in Brave. Now where is the open in Safari? Okay, that's somewhere else. Open link. Okay, so let's just do. Okay, let's copy that. Create a new buffer. Save it. And emac list mod. Magnify. Rename it xah-open-link-in-chrome. Okay, and copy the file name, save the file, save as that el. Okay, saved. Now let's just modify this so it's in Chrome, so it will open in Chrome. Let's see how we do it. Okay, so first of all, this is too long. Let's do that. So all we have to do, actually all we have to do is modify this line. You see, so how this works is that first of all, it this block of code, you see in the beginning it's input string. So this block of code is trying to get the URL, or the URL or file path or relative path, basically a path as the input string. You want to open this in a browser, this URL. Okay, so that's this part of code is about. You search for space or tab or new line or one of these delimiters brackets, to find out where does the URL begin or end. Then just grab it. Then you just save that as this input string. Okay, so that's this part of the code. Then once you have the input string, you want to create a path variable. You want to derive, you want to find the actual full path from an input string. For example, why? For example, let's go back here. Okay, change sitemap. So yeah, let's go back to XAR Talk Show. You see this file? That's a CSS file. I can press enter to open it. It's a CSS file. Close it. Now you see, but that path is a relative link. So if I'm calling this, for example, I can call open link in Safari. Let's see what happens. There it is. It opens this CSS file in Safari. Okay. Now back to Emacs. Now, but you need to do some processing, because this relative file, this relative path, you need to make it a full path. Then you tell Safari to open that. So that is this part about. Once you have the input string, you replace, you do some processing and you get the path. Okay. So once you have the path, then all is easy. You just call a shell command, then call this command. This is a command in Mac. On the Mac you have this open command, in shell. Let's see. Let me show you. Okay, so this is terminal. Okay, so let's type which open. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Let me magnify. Okay, so there is the open command. So now you type man open. Now this is Mac. This is Mac's own command. You don't have this on Linux. Well, you have xdg-open. You have the GNOME open. The fucking mess, fucking complete mess. Some of them doesn't work. Some of them needs to. It only works on this distro, like Ubuntu. Some of them only works on other distro. Then over the years they changed the names. Like some other hotshot came up, they forked it. Then you believe this one is now a better system. Then some other Unix, Linux fanatics group, they decided, oh, actually we should have one universal command that open files. Just on the Mac you have this open command. On Windows it's called explore. Okay, explore, that does similar. So on Linux you have several, like incompatible, fuck, and changes every 3-5 years over the years. I have full detail on these. And then every day you hear Linux people, Linux is better than Windows, 10 times better. You have to understand, like I know many of you, many of my follow, many people, other people who don't, they think Xali is so strange, weird opinions. What weird opinions? You are stupid. Okay. I mean, do you can you see the point I'm making? Like, do you see on Mac you have this open command, okay, for like 20 years. Mac, maybe they change a little bit, but basically Mac open command, it works well since 20 years ago, since Mac OS 10, okay, 2002. On Windows, you have explore, okay. I'm not on Windows machine, but the command name is explore. Basically, it's just like open, you know, a command line to open files, open stuff. So on Linux, but on Linux you have. Let me show you what's the situation with the Linux. Okay, I digressed. Okay, I digressed again, but let me show you. Okay, let's go to this page. Okay, show in browser. So this is a command to open file in external app. Okay, actually I talked about this in my past videos. Um, you know, so I did videos in many past videos. Some of them are about emacs, so you guys might check it out. You know, the YouTube is such that you only every day you have new things. People just want to watch new things. But anyway, so this command you can see. Let me show you. Okay, so do it. If let me magnify. So if it's on Windows, you call w32 shell execute. That's an emacs command. Then you call open. Wait, this is you call. Okay, so on Windows you also have a open. Wait, you have an open command on Windows. I guess you did. You do now. I guess I forgot. I forgot the details. You know, I haven't been using Linux as my main machine. But okay, anyway, so if it's Mac, you know, system type Darwin is if it's a Mac, call shell command open. You know, Mac. And if it's on Linux, you know, system type GNU Linux. It's wrong to call it Linux. Okay, you have to say GNU Linux. Um, so if it's on Linux, you have to, then it gets complex. You have to start a process connection type neo. then start process, then xdg-open. Okay, you see that xdg-open. Now, if you don't know Linux, if you are like, you know, how can we trust you are like talking shit? Let's search xdg-open. There it is, Linux man page, and then then there you go. Stack Overflow. How does the xdg-open command know which application to use? Okay, that's a stupid question. Um, xdg-open command in Linux with examples. Arch Linux. Okay, Arch Linux wiki is the best Linux documentation. Okay, anyway, xdg-open. So it's a Linux command similar to open on Mac or Windows. Okay, but actually that's not all, because this command I've changed over the years, because xdg-open, there are several, like there's GNOME open, there's also several. They changed over the past 20 years, changing, and eventually I said, well, you know, this, you know, I read, you know, I spent days, like days, month, you know, over the years, month, you know, study, you know, and then eventually xdg-open supposed to be the best, or kind of the the latest, the agreed upon. You should call this, but you know, that's oh, there it is. Okay, look at this one, show in desktop. So if it's on a Linux system, and okay, look at this code over here. Okay, let me magnify. So if it's on Linux system, okay, GNU Linux, okay, system type GNU Linux, then you start a process. Okay, then you call. Okay, then you know, if gvfs dash open, if that exists, you call that. Okay, if that doesn't exist, then you call it xdg-open. Okay, this fuck Linux. Why do this happen? Because ideally, you open source fans, ideally, you know, everyone, we cooperate, you know, like the way Richard Stallman likes to say, we cooperate, you know. He's got Eastern US accent, cooperate. So We ideally we can create a one system. It works so well, one command, but that's not the case, because once you go communism, once you remove the money, the benefits, to each person, each one is you still want each one person is still greedy. Is so greedy, just exactly the same. That doesn't change the person. But you are so greedy. You want to do things for yourself, but you cannot say it. So it becomes a power struggle. You create, each one of these person, they think they are better, and you fight. So many Linux distros and so on. So let's get back to not everyone is greedy. That's true. You can alias open. Bottom it says you can alias open xdg. Not really. I mean, have you actually worked on this? You haven't, right? Yeah, because you haven't, then you say, oh yeah, you can just alias. Bash is, Unix is so powerful because you have alias, or you have soft link, or you have hard link. You are bullshit. All you have to do is hard link. You don't even understand Unix. I know where that is going. That's incorrect, because if you actually do this, you do that, you run into other problems. Because otherwise, all these people, you won't have all these so many confusions and questions. What XDG versus yeah, okay. So open file in external app. Let's close that. Let's close that. We talked about that. So let's go back. Let's go back and talk show index page. What is this? Okay, close that. And I want to go back to talk show, right? So let me just write down what we are doing. So copy that. Okay, and let's get back to the program, the code here. Let's get this to work. So right now, our job is to find out what is the name for Google Chrome application code in command line. Okay, so let's go to shell q to quit. So I need to cd to app. Okay, applications, there it is, list. Okay, so one of them is Chrome, Google Chrome. We need to find out the exact name, Google Chrome app. Okay, there it is. Yeah, copy it. So paste it here. God, what's going on? Does copy work? Okay, it does. Okay, so there it is, Google Chrome app. Now another shell problem. You need to deal with these. I guess backslash would work. It's very complicated problem when you have a space. Okay, I think that's it though. Let's try to see if it works. Okay, eval buffer, split the pane, go back to my HTML. Okay, then let's put the cursor on this link. Okay, this link. Okay, just put somewhere in the link. Now let's call the command we want to call is xah-open-link-in-chrome. Okay, meta x xah-open-link-in-chrome. Enter. It says unable to find application named Google Chrome. Okay, there it is. It's incorrect. You see, they are not showing the space. You see, the space disappeared. So that's why I say it's a pain. So you need to double backslash, I guess. Let's try it. Wait, actually, yeah, let's try it. Okay, eval buffer, back to this buffer, call the command again, call it. There it is. Fantastic. We have successfully completed this task. Now I have a command. Okay, I think that finishes one subject. One of the thing we want to talk about. So this command is great. Now I copy. Now I cut the entire thing. Delete the file. Close that. Go back to the file where go back to the source code where the Safari file is at. There. Now I paste it. Oh, I paste it. Okay, so it's still there. Okay, so now this file is in xah emacs miscellaneous. This is part my init. So now if I start emacs, this will be part. I will have this command. So modify the Google Chrome, modify the documentation. So it says open URL under cursor in Google Chrome, works on Mac only. Okay, works in Mac only, and put today's date. Because then you have to do a version for Linux, then you have to add a version for Windows. It's painful. It's like right now, I have to add a version for if it's on Linux, what you call, or Windows. But right now I'm not on Windows. This is just works for me. But once you put it out, then other people will ask you, oh, you need to fix it, and and you get no money. I've been doing that for for the past 20 years, at least 10 years, every day, open source. So Greendeck says, I found out about XDG when I was reading xah's emacs command. Yeah, I found out that myself. Because for example, I'm writing a command to show a file in the desktop. For example, let me show you. Okay. For I want to show this file in desktop. Right now I'm on a Mac, so desktop it looks like that. Okay, hold on a second. It shows the Mac. In Linux you call these file managers. Okay, on Linux you call it file managers. On Mac, this is called Finder. Because it's called Finder since 1990. Okay, it's called Finder. On Windows, I think it's called how they call it on Windows, Explore something, Explorer. Yeah, I guess, yeah, technically you say it's show it in Windows Explorer. So anyway, they have different names. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so I want to write a command like this, right? I want to do it, and I was on Linux or Windows. So when I'm on Linux, I was on Linux for 4 years as my desktop. I want to do it. So you go to Stack Overflow, you search the web, then you find one command, then oh, it doesn't work because then some people says, oh, your command, they tell me it doesn't work because that's because they are on I'm on Ubuntu Linux, I'm using XFCE, the window manager. It gets very complex. Okay, but they are using, let's say, Nautilus on GNOME. Then you learn, oh, on GNOME, then it's another command. Then I dig into Wikipedia. Then usually there's a lot of info. Wikipedia, Arch Linux. You spend hours, fucking days to read. Read. All you want to do is just show it. You know. Then you learned about history. Oh, because this year for some reason they changed, or because someone forked. Fuck Linux. Fuck Linux. Okay. Windows Explorer. So what do I need open for? You need open for example, you need open for lots of things. Anyway, so what's next today? Are we done? No, what's other topics? So Bartholomew and okay, Newbo says, "You have made me try out Emacs, but it is very painful at the moment." Yes, it is. By the way, do you use the Otex package? If so, can you tell us something about it? I don't use Otex package. I don't use LaTeX. I don't use Tech. I hate it. I hate it. I despise it. Okay. Actually, I have a video talking about LaTeX and Tech. I talk about that. I've used Tech or LaTeX like 10 years ago. Not and now and then. Because when you do math, you have to use that. It's almost like you just have to. So I don't use. I haven't. I don't have. I haven't used it. But I know. Let me try to be positive. Okay. and some people like I know there's this guy. Uh, Emacs Sai John Kitchen. Okay, John Kitchen is a professor at Carnegie Mellon University, which is one of the top university in USA. This guy, John Kitchen, I met him in my house. He came over. Uh, so he wrote this Cymax package. This is a big project, okay? Tens of thousands or even 100,000 lines. It's a big project. It's org mod based thing. Like they say, the reproducible publishing. Okay, I don't like the, in my opinion, that is kind of silly jargon. It's kind of silly marketing thing. Okay, it has no actual solid meaning. But anyway, so he wrote this SciMax package, which is very good, especially if you work in academia or you do publishing or you do research on math. He's a chemistry professor. Okay, so if you do lots of math, research science stuff, this is very good. And I know because he did a demo one time for me. Also, he has YouTube videos you can watch. He do demo of his. Oh my God, there's so many files. So it's org-mod based. So you just like you just a lot of you like org-mod. You just working org-mod, and you can have equations LaTeX or Tech. LaTeX I think without needing to use that old text thing. It'll show you actually you can set it up so that it actually show images plots. Does he have some screenshots? Anyway, he's got YouTube channels. I mean, now you know the name, you search for it, you'll find demo and stuff. So maybe that's something you might like. Okay, so no comments. No comments. And how long I've been talking? Leave live dashboard. 12 people watching. Okay, so I think we are about done. So what's up? What's next? So oh yeah, okay. So let me try to maybe see. So summarize. So what we did talk today. We did talk about emacs lisp, right? A new Google Chrome. Yes, we did that. And the command name we called is this one. xah-open-link-in-chrome. Okay, so paste it. And okay, that's actually there's another command I want to write because this command is for opening a link. Like if your cursor is on a link, then you can call it. Let's switch to something. This one wandering stars. Okay, let's call the command. Open link in Chrome. Do it. Oh, it opened a new tab. Jesus, now I need to spend time to modify it so that it doesn't open a new tab. I mean, it opened a new window. I want it to be tab. So anyway, so that's one command, but I want another command that open the current buffer, not a link in the buffer. That's also trivial. That's also, let's not do that because you already know how it's done. So you just follow, what we talked about. Then you know how it is done. Okay, great. Uh, how can you chat with me? Well, I'm on Twitter, but you are not on Twitter. I'm on Mastodon. Oh yeah, Mastodon. Mastodon is open source, man. I'm on Mastodon, Bartholomew. Mastodon sucks. Um, hey, greetings from Europe, Ivan Hovat. Greetings. Uh, okay, so let's see what we gonna. Emacs customized tutorial. We talk about that. Open files in external app. Yes. Comment on Bible. Okay. So George is not here today. George made a comment on my YouTube about one of my article on Bible. Like one of the I tried to find out. Hold on, let me stop that. Okay, so this is yesterday's video, something like that. Uh, October, yeah, that's yesterday. So George made a comment about uh, Bible. So apparently George is have ex is an expert or have some expertise on Bible. So I have an article that let me show you. Okay, Bible. Uh, so back in 2006, I was looking into Bible because I was from Asia. I don't know nothing about Bible. So in 2006, I wanted to know. So what are the different versions of Bible? What are they like? What how are they different? Things like that. So I looked a little bit. So I wrote this article, a simple intro to Bible and its versions for non-believers. Okay. Now you shouldn't take my words for granted because I don't know. Actually, I don't know the subject, and also I'm not, I'm not a Christian. So um, but nevertheless, for my, I try to write an article about, what are the major, just the most basic introduction. What what are the major versions of Bible, things like that. Hebrew Bible, like usually you hear about James Kings and the Old Testament, yeah, New Testament. Okay, I don't know, I don't know anything. So I was curious, and actually, one thing interesting is that there are so many versions. American Authorized King James Version, Revised Version, American Standard Version, World English Bible, Young's Literal Translation, Modern English Bible Translations, Jewish English Bible Translations, uh, and Brick Testament. This guy Lego. I hate Lego. Lego, the most idiotic thing. But anyway, this guy, he created a Lego. He created a website, called the Brick Testament. Basically, it's using Lego to illustrate the stories from Bible. For example, you have this scene. They became hugely popular. This is the early days. This is in 2001. Okay, 2001, 2002, the beginning of the internet boom. Okay, and also it's a beginning. If you look back at history, like today, today in the past few years we have the social justice, right? I can, so I look back. If I look, I can see there is the seed of these social justice scam people forming. Okay, Anyway, so he used Lego to tell Bible stories. And when I was doing this, when I was writing this in 2006, I also learned. For example, I think on Amazon there's a rap version of Bible. Like rap. The black people, the rap. That. Yeah, I cannot do it, but rap. So there's all brother talk. Basically they write the Bible. I don't know it's a full thing or not, but in the style of the rappers. So there's a lot of it. Of course, some of these will be controversial. Like some people will say, "Oh, this is sacrilegious. You cannot use Lego for this." But meanwhile, I mean, I'm talking about among the Christians. Then I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm guessing some people will say, "Okay, this is not bad. Okay, this introduces the idea of Bible to the greater population, for to children, for example." So anyway, but I don't really know what I'm talking about because I just spent a few days, But apparently George gave me some information, and this is 2006. I don't remember. I don't remember what I wrote 2006. So George gave me some introduction about different versions of Bible. Okay, that's about his comment here. But also, a more interesting thing is this. Okay, let me show you. There is this song, DP. DP says recommend skeptic annotated bible.com. Google censored it. Fuck Google. Okay, Bartholomew says the Black Bible, the rap, is the best description of music genre I've never heard. The black people, the rap. How is that the way I phrase it? Uh, so okay, so there is this song by this group. I was a big fan. I still like their songs. Yeah, I love this song by Potter's Head. Now I think she's a UK English singer. Her name is uh, Beth Gibbons. She is of the group called Potter's Head, and her song, her style, she has a kind of a subculture following because her style is very kind of this feminine whale. Okay, I can play the song, but then Google is gonna say copyright violation. Just go to my website. Okay, search for Xali Wandering Stars, Xali Music Wandering Stars. You'll see it. It's everywhere. It's on YouTube and stuff. So she is known for the Potter's Head, this group. So she's a singer. She's a main singer, and her style. The thing she sings is that kind of this very feminine. Okay, extremely feminine, and also in this masochist style. Like women, she is like feeling sad. She's and enjoy it. That's what masochism is about. So anyway, so she sings. Her songs is like that, and I was a fan. But one of her songs is called "Wandering Stars." This is hugely popular around year 1998, something like that. "Wandering Stars." Okay. Actually, you can search. You'll find a Wikipedia page about that. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. What is that? In the Bible, quite grim stuff. I don't know what is that. Okay, Potter's Head, Wandering Stars. Now there must be a Wikipedia entry. Okay, so wandering stars means quite a few things, but apparently there's a strong Bible connotation. I mean, there's a story connected to Bible. So let's see what Wikipedia says. Wandering stars, an archaic or poetic term for a classical planet. Okay. Oh, okay. So wandering star. So Pluto would be a wandering star. Earth would be a wandering star. Okay. 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 So wandering star is a song by Portishead from 1994. Okay. Yeah. Wandering star. So UK song. So wandering stars, a reference to Christians in Jude 1:13 of most modern English translations of the Bible. So okay. So yeah, anyway, so George he gave me some information about that. So I wrote this article about this song. I tried to analyze the what is she singing, so I looked up, I kind of, you call it research, I look up all the words. um and it's actually fascinating because when you do this, the Bible, there's several subject matter involved. It's linguistics, history, culture. Depending on how much time you have, how deep you want to look into, you can spend a few years just by reading these lyrics. You see, because first of because so why does it involve history, culture, linguistics? Easy. History, because many of these refers to passages in Bible, these lyrics of lines. The needle's eye, fascinating. The needle's eye, husk, wandering stars. So depending on what's your interest, you can start to read. Then it invokes you to read the entirety of Bible. That's the spirit. That's of the spirit of learned man, because you are trying to read this. You are trying to listen, enjoy this song, but she is singing something. You gotta read the lyrics, right? So you read the lyrics, but what the fuck is wandering stars? What the fuck is needle's eye? Needle's eye. So you want to understand. So then you start to learn. Oh, it's from Bible. Then what is Bible? Why does it how it connect? So if then you have to read the entirety of Bible. Then also Jesus. Then also uh, linguistics. Well, okay. Before we go that, Bible. But once you read Bible, that has to do with culture. The Western culture. This part of it. It's a big part of Western culture. Then culture is like you can spend your whole life studying culture. But then there's also linguistics. Like needle eye and stuff. And culture. When it comes to culture, you have then it involves architecture. What is this camel? This camel, this in this stone arc, that is needle's eye. Okay, that's needle's eye. Then you start to research into the interpretations of Bible, because apparently no one is sure exactly what needle's eyes mean. For example, let's look at Wikipedia. I mean, there are different different explanations. What does eyes of a needle mean? Different explanations. Well, first of all, it's just eyes of a needle. Like doesn't mean much, but it's more than that. It's much more. So aphorisms. You have Judaism, you have Christianity. Okay, then you have Islam. You have gate, and it's a whole. You can spend your life study this needle's eye. What a fascinating thing, the needle's eye. And I respect this kind of things. I imagine, for example, xah lambda logo too. Today's juice is apple grapes. Okay, today's juice is apple grapes, and we are about to end. Now people say the world is about to end, but not yet. This video is about to end first. Okay, in a few minutes. So if you have last words, put it out. And Rockstar energy drink, sugar free as usual. A dash of energy drink. So I've been talking for 1 hour and 21 minutes, 22 minutes, right on time. You know, about 90 minutes. Now, guys, don't say too controversial stuff. Okay, don't don't go crazy about religion stuff. Okay, because it's controversial. Uh, okay, back to Wandering Stars. But anyway, so I find this fascinating. Okay, but apparently I've been wrong all these years. This article has, I wrote this in 2005. Over the years, I updated, but apparently I got the whole thing wrong. George tells me so. you know, I tried I tried my own way to write commentaries, annotations about the whole thing. Then comes, actually there's a passage of Bible, passage of um, of Bible here. And but George tells me George tells me, okay, let me read George what George says. George is not here. Shit. George says Wandering Stars is a reference to the sons of God, also known as watchers, who left heaven to sleep with human women in Genesis 6. This event is alluded to throughout the New Testament. Okay. I don't know. I didn't know. I've been ignorant. So he quotes Genesis 6:1-4 NRSV. So NRSV is a new revised something version of Bible something. Okay. So there is this passage. Let's read it. When people began to multiply on the face of the ground, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that they were fair, and they took wives for themselves of all that they can choose, of all that they choose. Then the Lord said, my spirit shall not abide in mortals forever, for they are flesh. Their days shall be 120 years. Okay. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans, who bore them children to them. These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown. Okay, I don't completely understand it, but you get kind of some sense of what's the story. Okay, that's it for today. So Meowcat says, so in this talk show, not the me versus you arguing in chat box. What? Uh, Bartholomew says, we are the XR code. We have to be crazy to join you. Your code in the first place. You prove it to your insane reply. You prove it by your insane reply. It is choice. If you want to argue, Meowcat is the the best guy. You can argue endlessly. Okay, that's it for today. Okay, I think. Um, yes, I think so. Let's one more minute. One more minute. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. So tomorrow 10 o'clock. Ask a JavaScript question or whatever. Meowcat, why are you still weeping? Linux and loves Linux and free software too much to be in the xah code. Okay. Damn, I triggered you so hard. Okay, so that's it for today, and thank you guys for coming, and bye.